So I have a pillow under the pelvis to elevate the hips, maybe double up the pillow, maybe it's a bolster or block. It doesn't matter as long as the hips are higher than the knees. Doesn't need to be half lotus, whatever lotus you get into is fine. And the only thing we're concerned about is tucking in the low ribs. So you can find the low ribs with the palms and tuck them in. And as you do that, you're eliminating that low back curve that we sometimes have. So this already elongates the spine. And then we're going to lift the chest, so lifting the clavicles and tucking the chin, bringing the top of the head attached to a string here through the crown, reaching to the ceiling, so elongating the spine right away. And then you can relax the palms. We'll start with a few very conscious breaths taken with awareness, inhaling deep and slow and exhaling deep and slow. So you can have one palm in your belly, inhaling through the nose and inhaling for a count of 5, counting mentally, and exhaling, pressing the belly into the spine, exhaling for a count of 5, and inhale nose into the belly, expanding the belly, and exhale, press the belly button into the spine, and 2 more breaths. Inhale, slow, and exhale, slow. Feeling the belly move under the palm. Inhale, slow, and exhale, slow. And one last one, engaging the diaphragm, pulling the diaphragm down as the belly expands. And exhale, bring the belly button into the spine. And then we'll warm up the wrists just a little bit. So circles one direction and then reversing the direction. Warming up the joints. Moving them in directions. We don't usually move them when we're on a keyboard. So just exploring the entire range of motion in all directions. Feeling into all the joints, all the ligaments. And then taking away whatever you were sitting on. And we will wake up the spine very gently. So coming into all fours. Tucking the toes, making sure the knee is under the hip. Making sure the wrist is under the elbow, under the shoulder. Stacking all the joints, making this position stable. And then moving through cat-cow with your own breathing. So we'll do something different. Exhaling, dropping the belly. And inhaling, rounding the spine. And as you inhale, you can feel that your expanded lungs are taking in that air. Pressing the floor away, you should feel this all across the shoulders. And then again, inhale one more time, drop the belly. Exhale as you move, round the back, and then inhale here again. So press the floor away, protracting the shoulders, dropping the head all the way down, elongating the neck. And then inhaling, dropping the belly down, looking up, opening across the chest, across the shoulders, sending the shoulders as far back as possible here. And exhale as you move into a rounded spine. And as you get there, inhale at the top as you're rounding, dropping the head, tucking the belly button into the spine, trying to connect the tops of the hip bones to the lower ribs. And then inhaling, coming back to neutral. And then looking over the right shoulder, looking at your right hip. Feel this all in your left neck. And then inhale back to center. Exhale, looking over the left shoulder, looking at the left hip. And pulling the right sit bone to the back of the room. Feeling this expansion on the right and contraction on the left. And then inhale back to center, and one more time. Exhale, looking at the right hip. Inhale into the left side waist. Feel the expansion there. Inhale, center. Last time, exhale, looking over at the left hip. Contraction on the left, expansion on the right. And inhale, come back to center. And then pressing into the palms, lifting the hips up into the air, coming into the first downward dog, and keeping the knees bent for the first one we get into. So spreading all of the fingers as wide as you can. Look at your fingers. And then exhale, drop the head, relax the neck. And then you're going to fix the gaze between the toes on the mat. And relax the neck one more time. Make the head so heavy that it elongates the neck. And then you're going to press into the palms again, super strong, and open up the shoulders. Roll the shoulders outwards, away from the ears. And then maybe pedaling the heels one at a time. And feeling into the back of the hamstrings. Breathing through the nose, hearing your own breath. Waking up the legs from all the sitting. One last breath with awareness. Inhale, nose. Exhale, nose. And then dropping the knees back to the floor. We'll open up the chest a little bit more here in the shoulders. So coming into the puppy pose. So walking the palms away and then dropping the forehead down. And then you're going to locate your hips in space. And you're going to bring the powers of proprioception here and make sure that the hips are over the knees. So if you're looking at yourself in the camera, then you'll see that the hips should stay over the knees and you're not moving the hips forward or backward here. And then once the forehead is relaxed on the ground, you will start to bring the chest closer to the floor, and then maybe the nose comes to the floor, and then maybe the chin comes to the floor. And so you're getting into the armpits, into the side waist, into the shoulders, into the mid-back, opening the front of the throat. And finding the slow breathing here. So inhaling through the nose very slow and exhaling very slow. And then as you're ready, inhaling, pressing into the palms, lifting the chest. And through the tabletop, you're gonna come into downward dog and then walk the feet halfway towards the palms. And then double check that the feet are 2 fists distance. So you're gonna bring the 2 fists between the big bones of the feet. Make sure that's the space between the feet. And then bend the knees a lot, relax the belly onto the upper thighs, relax the head. And feel into the backs of the legs, into the hamstrings. So you'll feel how far you need to open up the back of the legs. Maybe you start straightening out the legs, feeling into what's needed here. So ideally, we want to keep the low ribs glued to the tops of the thighs as you're straightening the legs. So if you're straightening the legs at the expense of rounding the low back, then we want to eliminate that. So keeping the ribs glued to the thighs, you're working with the hamstrings here. And then as you're doing this, you're relaxing the jaw and the head and the neck, releasing that tension. And then as you're ready, you're going to come into flat back, pressing into the shins, pressing the palms into the legs, activating the shoulders, pulling the top of the head to the front of the room, and the sit bones pulling to the back of the room at the same time. So elongating the spine here, like a rope being pulled in 2 different directions. The arms should be active, the shoulders are active, the upper back should be feeling some sensations as well. And then exhale, relax, forward fold, relax the palms to the floor, relax the neck. And then maybe you want to intertwine the fingers, bring them to the nape of the neck, add some additional pressure to the head, to the skull. And as you do that, the neck has a chance to relax a bit more. We're creating more space between the vertebrae. And exhale, release the palms. And then mindfully, slowly walking to the front of the mat. And as we get ready for sun salutations, engaging the glutes, coming up through the engaged glutes into mountain pose. And inhaling, palms come up, micro bend in the knees. Exhale, forward fold. And then keeping the palms and the fingertips on the ground, flat back, looking forward, and then sending the shoulders back away from the ears. So elongating the space in the side neck. And then exhale, palms to the floor, step or hop back, whatever you feel like you need to do. And then from the knees or the toes, chaturanga, exhale, chest down. Inhale, open up into cobra. Look up any amount, roll the shoulders all the way back. One breath here, fix the gaze for that one breath. Inhale, exhale, tuck the toes, rolling back into downward dog. 5 breaths here. So either finding stability in the down dog, and staying motionless, or you can keep walking the heels to the floor one at a time. The other option, if you want a bit more fire in the body, you can come into dolphin, coming down onto the elbows, dropping the head down. And in dolphin, you can either straighten the legs or keep the knees bent, whatever feels good right now. 3 more breaths in whatever option you chose today. Through the nose, gaze is fixed. 1, 2, and 3, 4, 5. Inhale, look between the palms. Right foot steps, left foot steps into flat back. Send the shoulders away from the ears, maybe pressing into the shins. And then exhale, forward fold, bend the knees, relax the neck. And then when you're ready, keeping the micro bend in the knees, coming up, palms above the face, looking at the thumbs. And exhale, palms together in front of the heart. And finding your breath in the mountain pose, relax the palms. Inhale, sweep the fingertips to the floor. This gives you a way to measure how deep you need to sit into the chair. So if the fingertips are grazing the ground and the knees are still staying behind the toes, this is how far back you need to sit. And then inhaling, bringing the palms either at shoulder level or maybe above the head, wherever feels good. For me today, it's here. And then exhaling, palms down, step or hop back with the mind still here. Exhale, knees or toes, chaturanga. Graze the lower ribs with the elbows. Toes flat on the ground, pressing into the floor. Inhale, cobra, open the chest, open the shoulders. Fix the gaze, one spot. Inhale, nose. Exhale, nose, tuck the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. 5 breaths here. Rest. So either the classic down dog or dolphin on the forearms, whatever you're choosing. If you want this to be a little bit more dynamic, you can bring a twist in. So left palm reaches to the right ankle, twisting to the right, looking under the right armpit. Then you can look at the room from this vantage point. It's really different. And then inhale, maybe the twist the other way, right palm, left ankle, looking under the left armpit. And then when you're ready to come out of here, inhale, look between the palms. Just the right foot will step between the palms. The left heel stays up, coming into a lunge again. Inhale, bring the chest up. Maybe the palms only stay at the shoulder level. If you feel good about bringing them up, you're bringing them up. As you get the palms overhead, you'll notice how the shoulders right up to the ears right away. So you're going to relax the shoulders all the way down from the ears here. And then because we're lunging, and this is effortful, we're bringing in this curve in the low back. So what we're going to do is we're going to eliminate this curve by tucking the tailbone, bringing the belly button into the spine, tucking the low ribs, and then staying here. And you'll feel this in the left hip flexor immediately what the difference is. So your right foot is in front, left in the back. Then we're going to open up the chest to the right into a twist. Slowly with the breathing, with awareness. And then maybe here you come a little deeper. Maybe you come down to the left knee, if that feels good. And one more inhale through the nose. And exhale nose. And then inhale nose, bring the palms all the way up. And exhale, palms down, right foot steps back. Chaturanga, graze the low ribs. Inhale, cobra, open up the chest. Then look over the right shoulder, looking at your right heel. Inhale, center. Exhale, looking over the left shoulder, the left heel. Inhale, center, tuck the toes, downward dog. Five breaths. Either resting or dolphin, or maybe the twists. Feeling into what the body requires, more movement, less movement. Two more breaths, whatever variation you chose. One. And two. And then the next inhale, look between the palms, left foot steps between the fingers. Right heel still up in the air. Send the shoulders away from the ears here. Create that space on the sides of the neck. Engage the right quad and pull up the right knee into the pelvis. Engage the belly button into the spine. And then with that strength, come up. And then maybe you adjust the length of the lunge here. Maybe the palms stay at shoulder height. Maybe they go all the way up. Picking your own variation here, what needs to happen in your body. But wherever you are, dropping the shoulders down. Eliminating that giant curve in the low back, tucking the tailbone under, pulling the low ribs in. And then next, exhale, twisting to the left, opening up the chest to the left. Maybe coming down lower, maybe resting on the knee. And then next, inhale, both palms up. Next, exhale, palms down. You engage the arms and the shoulders, press into the ground, protract the shoulders, create that space between the knee and the torso, and then send the left foot back. So plank, and then knees or toes, chaturanga, chest down, toes flat, pressing into the floor. Open up in cobra, send the shoulders back. Looking at your right heel over the right shoulder. 2 breaths here. 1 and 2. Inhale, center. Exhale, looking at the left heel. 2 breaths. 1 and 2. Inhale, back to center. Tuck the toes under. Send the hips into child's pose. Connect the toes. The knees will come super wide, maybe even wider than the mat. Relax the forehead into the floor. Walk the fingertips forward. Feel the weight of the pelvis. Feel the weight of the knees on the ground. Relax the body fully. Let go of all the tension in the neck and the shoulders. And then inhaling, lifting the head if you're ready. Come back into tabletop. And then transitioning into downward dog. Allowing the heels to relax towards the ground. And then from here, walking the feet halfway to the palms. Slow. Coming into forward fold. And then your left palm is going to come to the left waist. And your right peace fingers are going to go around the right big toe on the ground. So they're going to meet. And then you're going to micro bend the left knee and start bringing the right foot up with you as you bring the chest up. And then once you get here, you can stay here. Find a gazing point for the eyes to rest on. If you want, you can start bringing the right heel forward, and maybe the right knee stays bent. That's okay. If you want, you can start straightening out the right leg, whatever feels good. The eyes stay in one spot so that you are stable. The other option is you can start opening up the right hip towards the right. Whoop! Lose it, find it again. Come up, be kind to yourself as you fall. Doesn't matter if you fall. Who cares? And then when you're ready, bring it back up. And then exhale, and slowly, slowly, you're gonna bring the right foot down, bending forward, forward fold, rest, relax. Drop the head down, elongate the neck. And then the right palm will come to the right waist, and the left peace fingers will wrap around the left big toe. Transfer all your weight to the right foot. Micro bend the right knee. And then start lifting the chest, maybe with a straight back, with the left foot coming up with you. And so first we start just with the knee bent, standing, exploring what it feels like here. Find a spot for the eyes to rest on. And then stop breathing from your mouth. Start breathing through the nose here. Keeping that gazing point. And then maybe start straightening out the left leg in front of you. Imagine pulling the heel towards me and your toes towards your face, and then if you're ready you can open up the left leg to the side. And again, doesn't matter if the knee is bent, as long as you're finding that strength in the right glute. So the right glute is stabilizing you right now. 2 more breaths through the nose, super slow. Keep the gaze at the same point, and then start slowly coming back the same way we got in. And then find the patience here to come back the same way. Slowly. And then coming down straight back, releasing the left foot all the way down. And then we're going to shake out the legs and the glutes. So shaking out whatever was active. And then we're going to bring the right foot over the left. And then from here, forward fold. So getting into the IT band. And then you can explore twisting to the left and then twisting to the right, and how that feels in the legs. And maybe to the left again, and to the right. And then when you're ready, we'll switch the legs. So this time the left leg will come on top of the right. Maybe the toes are pointing towards each other. And then forward fold. Relax the neck. Relax the face. Relax the lower jaw. Feel into the back of the legs, and then explore traveling to the right, and explore traveling to the left with the fingertips. And stay where you find a sticky spot in the body and the legs, or maybe keep it moving, whatever feels right today. And then when you're ready, let the inhale bring you all the way up. I feel like a ballerina whenever I'm doing this. I don't know why. So beautiful. Okay. So one more thing we'll do with the legs. So we're going to shift all the weight to the left. Start lifting the right knee. So this is movement A, stabilizing with the knee, which we did already. And then you're going to bend the knee, start bringing the right ankle on top of the left knee, opening up the right knee to the side. Then you're gonna fix the gaze on something in front of you that's not moving. And maybe you're gonna bring the palms to the ground. So your right foot is hugging your left tricep. I mean, you don't have to go all the way down, actually. I don't think I need to today, because I'm already feeling it in my glute. So maybe you're staying here first. Maybe the palms are in prayer. And then with time, release the fingertips to the floor.
And then you can feel that right glute on fire. And find the breathing through the nose. Relax the neck here, make the head heavy again. And then when you're ready to come out, again coming out the same way we came in, maybe with prayer hands, bringing the right knee up and release the right foot down. Okay, shake out the left leg. Shifting all the way to the right foot. Left knee comes up. Maybe the palms are already in prayer, getting ready. Left ankle comes to the right knee. And if you want to, you can start bringing the chest all the way down. Maybe the elbows will rest on the left leg. Breathing, finding the breathing. Fixing the gaze again to find the balance. And then maybe the fingertips release to the ground. And then here you find more stability, of course, because your little tripod here. And your left toes wrap around your right tricep here. You can find more stability that way. And 3 breaths through the nose. 1 and 2 and 3. And let the inhale bring you all the way up with the prayer palms. Coming all the way up, engaging the right glute. This is the hardest part, to find the patience to come out slowly. Left knee comes up. Exhale, left foot comes down. Shake out your entire right leg. Wow. Whew. Ha! Okay, that was a lot of legs. Okay, so we're gonna come to the floor. Let's relax the legs. So come into child's pose again. Relax the hips, relax the pelvis, and let the head melt into the ground. And then we're gonna start opening up the sides. So from this child's pose, you're going to walk the palms to the right, all the way to the right, as far right as they go. And letting your right chest rest on the right thigh. And then relax the forehead down. And then next inhale, you're inhaling into the left lung, into the left waist. And then maybe the left palm walks on top of the right palm. And as you're creating space on the right, you're going to think of actively sending the left sit bones to the left heel, because I know it came up. And then inhaling back to the center. And a little rest in the middle. And then walking the palms to the left. So inhaling into the right lung this time, into the right sideways.
And maybe the right palm walks over the left. And then think of actively sending the right sit bone towards the right heel. And then walking back to the center. And then whenever you're ready, transitioning into the squat. So finding the distance for the feet and also the direction for the feet. So the further away and the more open the feet are, the easier it becomes. So if this is too easy, then I will tell you to challenge yourself to start bringing the feet closer and the toes to start pointing more forward rather than out, because it's infinitely harder here and we're not after easy things. Okay, so finding a stable pose here, and then if after some time the shins are on fire and like you're dying, then you can open up obviously and stay here. And then what we're going to pay attention to is opening up the chest, rolling the shoulders back, rolling the shoulder blades back behind you, and thinking of the shoulder blades melting down into your back pockets. And then you can start opening up to the right, so left palm comes down, right palm comes up. And then again, of course, adjust if you need to come into a wider squat here. So your left knee is pressing into the left tricep. And you're opening up the right chest, rolling the right shoulder back. And then you can come into a bind behind you, if that's something you do. Help that posture. Think of this pose when you're on the laptop next time. The gaze is looking up at the ceiling because we're opening up the neck and the vagus nerve. And then when you had enough here, we'll switch to the other side. Slowly. So right palm presses, left palm opens. The right knee is pressing into the tricep and the tricep is pressing into the knee. So opposing movements, which engage your right hip flexor here. And come into the bind if you want to, if you need to. Rolling the left knee back, rolling the left shoulder back behind you. Beautiful, looking at the ceiling, opening up the vagus nerve, opening up the chest. Beautiful, relax, come back, bring both palms in front of you. And then we're gonna keep one of the legs in a squat. So the left leg, the left knee is gonna stay in a squat, and you're just going to release the right one straight to the side. And then you can sit on the ground or your pillow, block, or whatever you have. And then find stability. So for me, this means right palm behind me to elongate the spine, left in front of me. And we rest here for one moment. And then when you're ready, awkward stage begins. You're gonna bring your right elbow in front of the left knee to the floor. And as you do this, you'll adjust where your left knee is to find where the most stability is. And then we're just gonna open up the left side. So left palm will come up to the ceiling. Beautiful. Your right toes are engaged and looking at the ceiling. And then you're gonna start bringing your left palm over the left shoulder, and it's gonna reach towards the right toes. And maybe it doesn't touch today, doesn't matter. What we're gonna focus on is keeping the left chest open. And maybe you notice that as you're reaching for the right foot, your left knee is collapsing inwards. So you're gonna, with awareness, bring the left knee out and open it up. And then, if this is not enough, and then you're gonna bring your right palm to the left ankle. And then you can find this torsion by pulling on the ankle and pulling on the left toe. And looking under the left armpit. And then when this feels enough, we'll start to come back up very slowly. Coming back to the center. And then opening up the left foot to the side. And your right knee is going to stay in a half squat here. So you're going to press into the right leg and find the length in the spine here first. Left toes are active, looking at your face. And then next up, left elbow is going to come down to the floor and rest, and right arm is going to open up. And again, maybe the right knee is collapsing in with awareness, pulling it back. So right shoulder blade melting behind you. And then see if you want to bring the right palm overhead over the right ear. Reaching to the left toes. Doesn't need to touch. And the entire time we're traveling into these new spaces, paying attention to the right knee. Is it falling in again? Is it collapsing? And then maybe left palm to the right ankle. And then finding the torsion and the space, looking under the right armpit. And when you're ready, slowly, slowly we'll come back up to the center. Bring the feet together into butterfly. Again, maybe you're on a pillow, elevating the hips. And opening up the feet like a book. Rotating the bones of the feet outwards, and that sends the message to all the other bones to start opening up. And then options for you to come bring the chest all the way down with a straight spine or maybe rounded spine. Forehead towards the floor. Another option is to play with how close your feet are to the pelvis. Maybe further away feels good. If you're further away, another way to play with this is to bring the palms underneath the shins and then resting the shins on top of the forearms.
And then relax the head, relax the neck, come down. So see what feels good today, what you need to do. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly transition onto the back. Bring the knees with you into the chest, and then feel free to explore just rolling, keeping the knees in, or coming into happy baby, pulling the feet into the armpits, letting the knees come into the chest, into the armpits. And then if you're ready, coming into Shavasana, maybe something under the knees on the ground to release the low back. So elevating the knees. Maybe the legs are in Supta Baddha Konasana and butterfly. Maybe you have a blanket on top. Maybe just something to cover up the eyes, to block the light. The palms can open up, facing the ceiling. The shoulders relaxing into the floor. And then once you find the resting pose, staying there in stillness, releasing the heels into the ground. Releasing the calves. Make the pelvis heavy. And releasing the right hip flexor with the next exhale. And then releasing the other hip flexor with the next exhale. And releasing the skin of the belly, making it soft. And that softness from the belly is traveling up into the chest. Releasing the right shoulder into the floor. And releasing the left shoulder into the floor.
Relaxing the jaw, swallow and release the tongue. And making the eyeballs heavy, falling deeper into the face. So it's 1 p.m. right now. If you have 5 more minutes, stay for 5 more minutes.
then slowly starting to take the inhales through the nose, filling the body with a fresh breath. And filling the belly with air, and then exhaling, release. And bringing tiny movements into the fingers and toes. And rotating the wrists in one direction slowly. And reverse the direction for the wrists. And then move the ankles. And reverse the direction for the ankles. And slowly, slowly rolling onto your right side. Keep the knees in the chest. Keeping space on the left side for the heart. And then maybe coming up whenever you're ready. And maybe keeping the palms together in front of the heart and plugging the thumbs into the sternum, into the heart space. And cultivating this attitude of reverence for something that's bigger than you. And carrying that into the rest of the day with you. Thank you.